Ragnarok Gemini here, coming at you with another deck list. As you can see, it's Psy-Frame, but there's a slight twist to it. We'll get to that later. First off, I have 3 Psy-Frame Alphas. He's the adder, well, one of the adders. Pretty much lets you get out a driver, and the adding is mandatory, so you have to add. I don't know if your opponent can negate that, but I do know that you have to add no matter what. Next up, I have 3 betas. Beta helps a lot to stop OTKs, and also to get a driver, and if you got the circuit on field, you can possibly synchro on your opponent's turn. Then I have Gamma. 3 Gamma. Gamma stops effects. It's great use against decks like Kozmo and, I don't know, something else like a Pendulum deck to, stop your opponent from doing stuff. I run 2 Delta. It's pretty much like a negating MST, but a monster, and also lets you special summon. Very useful, but 3 got Cloggy, so only at 2. I would side deck 3rd Delta.
No Apple-ism?
What?
No Apple?
Epsilon?
Yeah, Epsilon.
Side deck 2 Epsilon.
Oh.
Next up, I have 3 of the vanilla driver. I would recommend running 3. If you don't run 3, I would think you're crazy. Because if he gets banished, you're screwed. Now here's the twist. I play yosenjus Psy-Frame. So with this, I run 3 1s. For the original deck list, you only needed 1 2, but I hated the fact that he was always getting destroyed or banished and stuff like that, so it got really annoying. So I put 2 at 2. Next up is yosenju 3, the adder of the yosenjus. I actually run 3. Where's the 3rd one? I don't know, but I run 3.
Is it possibly in your side
Where
deck?
Is it that I do run 2? Actually, no. I think I do run 2. I'm sorry, I'm confused. But I could run to Sujik. I was actually thinking about it, just because you can make its attack at 2k, so you can get over stuff. Next up for the spells, I have 3 circuits. You need 3 circuits. You have to. This field spell card allows you to synchro summon on your opponent's turn with Psy-Frames. Very useful, because then you can black growth the field on their turn. Next up, for the yosenjus, I have 3 Tenkis to be able to add them. Plus it gives your Beast Warrior monsters 100 attack.
Tenki is too strong.
Pretty much, but if your opponent can MST it or Twin Twister it, you're screwed. Next up, I run 2 Psychic Field Zones. 3 got Cloggy, so I only put 2. But what this does is it allows you to synchro summon using monsters that are in your banished zone. And of course, at least one of them has to be a tuner. And you just send those 2 to the graveyard, but then you have to synchro summon for a psychic monster in defense. Next up, 1 Upstart Goblin. It sucks that it's at 1, because if it was at 3, I'd be running 3. Terraforming. To be able to add circuit, you always have to have circuit on the field.
Why only 1 though?
I would run more than 1, but Chicken Game got banned, because that was also needed for this deck list. But after Chicken Game got banned, I took the second one out. Next up is Burial from a Different Dimension. I ran this because not only is this a good card to take out for side decking, but it's also good for if you have all of your drivers banished, because you can just send them back to the graveyard to be able to special summon with the Psy-Frame gears. Next up, I have 3 Overloads. I run 3 Overloads because not only that it's an adder for you to banish it during your player's turn and add 1 Psy-Frame card, anyone, including the circuit. But this also allows you to banish 1 Psy-Frame monster from your hand, and then banish any card your opponent has on the field face down, meaning that they can't get their card back, and this also sets you up a play for Psychic Field Zone. Next up, I have Drowning Mirror Force. I only have one right now, so the only other Mirror Forces that I have is Storming and a regular Mirror Force. Next up is that I have Solemn Warning. Very good card to have. I would run Strike, but I would rather run this in just in case if I go up against Mermail and my opponent tries to Acid, then I just negate it. I just negate Mask Change too. Last but not least, I have right here Bottomless Trap Hole. It's very good because if you don't want something in your opponent's graveyard that you know that they'll be able to get back, you just banish it instead.
Drowning Mirror Force is too OP'd.
Next up is the extra deck. 1 Omega. I need 2, but unfortunately I don't have the second one. I'm working on that. Next up is that I have 3 Zeta. Omega and Zeta can both send themselves back to the extra deck if they're in the graveyard, but Zeta, the only thing that's different about them is that they both have different banishing effects, and Zeta allows you to get an add from the graveyard. Omega lets you shuffle a card back into the graveyard, or back into the deck from the graveyard. Next up is that I run 3 Black Rose Dragons. I ran 3 because I need it for the destroying power, and I ended up going against a 6 Sam deck, and the guy got mad because I Black Rosed him twice in one turn. The first one he negated with a warning, which I baited out, and then the second one blew up his field, and he said that I had game. I run 1 Yazi, Evil of the Yangzing, because Yazi allows you to get him off the field. Because in order for you to use the Gears effects, you can't control any monsters. And it's also good for the yosenjus, because you can use them as bait, but they go back to your hand during the end phase. I run 1 Baxia. Baxia is good. There's a good play with him because you can destroy something like, I don't know, a yosenju that's stuck on field, or himself, or an overload for you to get back yosenju, because you can also OTK with the yosenjus. Scrap Dragon, because he's also a card that you can get off the field by destroying him and 1 card your opponent controls. Stardust, to stop your opponent from using Mirror Force, and he would be getting off the field by his own tribute effect to negate it. Thought Ruler Archfiend, I can't get it off the field, but this is just in case if I'm low on life points. And he's a big 27 beater, and I believe he gains attack, I think. Or is it just, I just gain... Yeah. Colossal Fighter, he can also get off the field, but he also can special summon himself, so if I'm low on the gears and I need protection, I summon him.
I fucking hate Colossal Fighter for Boojins, because all they do is use your fucking cranes.
Yeah. Diamond Direwolf, he's also a card that you can get off the field, but if you have too many yosenjus in hand and you don't want to have to discard any of the gears, the yosenjus, and you got something that you want to destroy your opponent's field that you think will be used against you, so when you go into him. I use Big Eye just in case if I know that I can have the win by taking control of my opponent's monster and attacking. It helps a lot, but it also hurts because those monsters won't be getting off the field.
What also sucks about Big Eye, which is awesome, but it sucks, is that it can't attack the turn you use it, which sucks.
That's true.
Then again, if it could attack the turn you use it, they would ban it.
Probably. Or limit it to 1, either way, because you can warning it. Next up, for the extra deck. Delta, only 1, because you run 2 in the main deck. Epsilon, 2 Epsilons. These guys stop traps. It helps a lot if your opponent is running a lot of trap cards.
Like trap tricks?
Pretty much. 1 Effect Veiler, you can put him at 2 or 3, it depends on what your preferences are for the side deck, but I'm thinking about putting him into at least 2 to stop Kozmo, because I've been having issues with them lately. 2 MSTs, because sometimes you can't really use Delta and it gets really annoying, especially if you don't have Epsilon, which is usually supposed to be in your side deck. This helps. 1 System Down can be used against Despot, and it hurts Kozmo to an extent, but if you know they got run Call the Haunted, I would use this because that would stop them from using that, and they would be forced to add back a destroyer if they needed it with Cosmotown. So that'd be their one add. 2 debunk, also for Cosmo, but also for Monarch, because Monarch sucks. 2 wiretap, pretty much everything that you want to stop. Monarch stuff, Cosmo stuff, you know, stuff like that. Smashing Horn, I feel it's really useful. I came across this card a while ago, but it stops cards like Warning, because Warning will negate your summons, and that stops Warning and Strike. Next up, Trap Stun. So if your opponent tries to activate something like Warning, or you think they got Warning or Strike, use this. Unwavering Bond is for Pendulum decks, to stop them, because it's not that they hurt, it's just that they have more materials and they can always re-special summon from the extra deck, so they can get really annoying if you waste all your materials.
Which is why pendulums are too OP.
The last card is Chivalry. I like this card because it also hurts a lot of stuff like Cosmo, you know, with the special summoning during the damage step for them to OTK and stuff like that. But pretty much that's Psy-Frame Deck, you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!